today's video, I want to share my thoughts on the Rotor Q-Ring oval chainring. This particular piece of chainring. Perhaps you've been thinking about this chainring but haven't really decided to make the purchase, or perhaps you've heard about Rotor's oval chainrings and you're wondering, does it really make a difference or does it not? Is it really worth the money, you might ask? So in today's video, I'm going to share with you my experience on the Rotor Q-Ring. What I have here is the 5034 tooth sprocket. Hopefully, through my experience, you will be better informed about this product. Here's what I like about the Rotor oval chainring. For my setup, I have a 50 tooth on the outer ring and a 34 tooth on the inner ring. It's smooth, really smooth. Back in the 1990s, I used to use a Shimano Biopace. Riding with that particular chainring was really jerky, especially on the uphill gradients. And the balance between the power stroke and the dead spot was tangibly felt, meaning that the peaks and the valleys in the stroke was really abrupt. It felt like this. However, with the Rotor Q-Rings, it is very smooth in the uphill ascents as well as in the flats. I was pleasantly surprised. The balance of the power stroke and with the dead spot to me was negligible. My strength as a cyclist is riding up in the mountains. I really enjoy a tough, long climb. For me, it's really rewarding. So one of my favorite routes that I like to do is called Spieldag, and it primarily consists of a 22-kilometer ascent with an average gradient of 6.5%. The elevation gain is about 1,200 meters. This is one of my favorite climbs. It's hard, it's tough, it's lonely. And I've ridden up this same route with my SRAM X-Glide 5236 standard chainring, and I've also ridden this same route with my oval Q-Rings, the 5034. For me, I could feel a tangible difference both in my time and in my power output. I was significantly faster on the oval chainrings, and I felt like I used less power. Some people say it makes no difference. But for me, it was a noticeable difference. I'm not a sprinter, I'm not a descender, downhill descender. I'm a climber. Based on my personal experience of riding this mountain several times a year, both on standard chainrings and on the Rotor Q-Rings, I would ride with the Rotor Q-Rings any day. I realize that this is very subjective, but for me it made a difference, and that's what matters to me. Now, keep in mind though that a proper fit on the Q-Rings is critical, because if it's not fitted properly, you could injure yourself and you could hurt yourself. So if it's set up properly, then you shouldn't feel the ovalness of the rings. In other words, you really shouldn't feel it when pedaling. It should be smooth when you actually pedal. The power spot and the dead spots should not be felt if set up and fitted properly. So hopefully you found my experience helpful. Whether you go out and buy the Rotor Q-Rings or whether you stay with the standard chain rings, the important thing is you go out and ride. For me though, the Rotor Q-Rings have made a big difference, and I really like using them. Whether it makes a difference or whether it doesn't, for me, it made a difference. If you've enjoyed this content, please give it a thumbs up. If you have comments, comment down below. Until next time, cheers.